Solutions, using good old common sense to find a fix. That's what CommonSense Solutions is all about. Everyday people just like you and me stepping up to the plate to find solutions by applying a little common sense. Take a look at this story about one company's answer to a crippling amount of trash. And then you tell me we can't tackle whatever problem we go after.
Hi, welcome back. Does this look familiar? You mail order a sweater, and from the looks of the container and the packing material it comes in, you'd have thought you'd purchased an entire wardrobe. I bought a light the other day, and this is what I have left now. And even takeout means a lot of leftovers. I mean, look at all the different pieces it takes. But what do I do with all of this? I mean, just throwing it away can be a real challenge. Oh, and don't you hate the idea that you're going to add all of this to a landfill? Oh, and these. Are these biodegradable? Are any of these things recyclable? Now, picture this on an industrial scale, and you've got a lot of trash. Or do you? We visited a number of large companies and found out that's not necessarily true anymore. Case in point, Western Digital in Irvine, California. Come on, I'll show you.
Well, first, Vivian, we have a package that we were using approximately 10 years ago. This package protected the drive at that time very well. And we were able to reduce the packaging a little bit, as you can see. We got approximately 30% smaller. This was in use approximately 7 to 8 years ago.
Okay. Looks like you reduced even further.
We were able to reduce again. This package was in use by us, I would say, approximately 5 years ago.
So then we finally went from this down to this.
Correct. That is our current package. And,
wow.
As you can tell, it's quite a bit of a reduction.
That's great.
If you look at the volumetric distance, we're using about 1/10 of the materials we used 10 years ago.
Sony Corporation in San Diego had the same idea.
And what we've done is we've eliminated these, and we've gone to this polyethylene vacuum form tray.
It's real important to note this is an end user kind of product. So what happens is you get home with this, right? Somebody buys this product and I stick this in my trash can and then it ends up in a landfill. Yes. Whereas this product, I stick it in with my recycles on the curb with the milk bottles. It's out of here.
Yes.
Recycled.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Like Sony and Western Digital, Hewlett Packard adheres to the 3 R's. Yes, recycling, but also reducing and reusing.
At one time, yes, we would have taken all this and put it into a big dumpster and sent it to the landfill.
Yeah.
And then we became much more aware of that cost. And now we actually take this to a baler that's on site here. We crush it all up and put it in big bales, and we actually sell this material back to the people who make paper, and this becomes part of another box somewhere down the road.
So off it goes to be baled, right on the premises. About 3,000 tons worth. That's 40 trailers a month. As for the foam, it gets baled too.
But everything that comes into the site comes in here packaged in some way or another. We have to dispose of it. If we didn't recycle it, we'd dispose of it as just common trash.
Gotcha.
Can you imagine the cost that this would be?
No.
At almost 3,000 tons of materials, at $43 a ton just for the landfill fee.
And if it's not reduced, baled, and recycled, it's reused.
I've finally used this tray to its ultimate when it's going inside the box that goes to the customer.
This is the same tray that we started clear back there with. Is that right?
None of this happens by accident. It's all about design. Designing the packaging components from the very beginning.
This is the corrugated tray that we saw downstairs. And then the parts are actually placed inside the tray up here. So the total size of the package is reduced. The customer will now get this tray, and they have the final disposal right, so to speak.
They're recycling 85% of what comes out of their site. Yeah, it's good for their bottom line, but it's good for everybody. So, where does it go from here? We'll show you right after this break.
One thing all of these companies have in common is figuring out what to do with their excess scrap material. And that's where a company like Marco Foam in Corona, California comes in.
We manufacture foam packaging for the electronics industry. For customers like Hewlett, Packard, and Sony, we do the foam packaging that goes around their products. It was a natural for us, if we are delivering foam packaging, to pick up any packaging that has already served its use in protected product.
So into the grinder it goes. All those end caps and other foam products get reduced down to their original state.
Here's the product.
Powdered sugar. That's great. Now, can this be used in this form in any way?
It can. We sell this to furniture companies for beanbag chairs. We also sell it to toy companies, stuffed animals, different products like that.
Great. All right. What's the next step in the process?
We send this to storage.
All right. Let's go take a look.
Well, these are our storage silos. We can store several days worth of material in these products. We'll go ahead and transfer it over to a mixer. The mixers are right next to the storage, and what we do is we'll have the virgin bead mixed with the regrind material right here where they're blended in this container.
And what's the percentage of virgin versus recycled?
Usually it's 10%.
Okay.
After mixing comes molding. Customized molds for various clients like Hewlett, Packard, and Sony.
What we do is we put the material in a mold. We heat that mold up with steam. The material bonds together, both the recycled material and the virgin material bond together. We cool the mold down with water, and out comes the finished product.
The end products produced are many, from computer monitor protectors to CD-ROM packets.
Boogie boards.
Boogie boards. We manufacture bicycle helmets, baseball helmets.
And what is this?
This is a panel for a motorhome, RV. Goes in the roof of a motorhome for insulation. Foam is a great insulator.
It is, and that's what this is all about here.
Absolutely. Fish box packaging, ice coolers, medical shipping.
Now, as good as all this recycling is, you have to keep in mind that there is still a lot of virgin foam that's being produced in order to maintain foam quality. So there will always be a need to try to replace foam or certainly reduce it. And that leads us to Sealed Air Corporation. Their specialty? Alternative packaging.
So what we came up with was the same film on a piece of plastic like this that ships in flat to the customer. And if I did this and created a little tunnel tube with the plastic over the top, and we take a product and we set it on the inside, and I were to fold it down on the two sides this way, and then fold these two edges up, what we've done is we've created a little suspension pack that can fit inside of a box. And this is just to be representative of what we're doing, and it's like instant shrink wrap.
Corrugated replacing foam. It can be reused over and over again.
Now we can do this. We slide this in here. These two sides fold up. It sits in the box, and this one sits on top.
Pretty impressive. If companies aren't recycling, they're reusing or reducing, or doing all three. And that's this week's show. I'm Vivian Ecclefield for CommonSense Solutions. Apply a little common sense to create your own solution and share it with us by going to www.CommonSenseSolutionsTV.com, and we'll share your solution on the show. See you next time.